Odd. Well, well. What have we here? I tried to rest, but my mind wouldn't settle. Just yesterday, I had been seducing a young noble, luring him to my master's lair. Since then, I'd been kidnapped by Mindflayers, chased through hell by dragons, and fallen from the sky. And I felt the sun on my skin. I should have burst into flames. My ability to walk in the sun must have been a side effect of the tadpole the Mindflayer put in my eye. With enough time, it would turn me into one of them. That much I knew. I assumed getting rid of the tadpole would mean returning to the darkness. Unless I understood it, mastered it. I needed to find someone who knew more. I mentally shuffled through places likely to have an expert in Mindflayers. Candlekeep, Neverwinter, Menza Baranzan, Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate was close to my master's coven, but also home to amazing scholars. Still, that was a problem for the morning.
Blasted door, What? Stop! Not another step or I'll... Wait. You're the one who left me to die on the ship.
Suddenly, I saw what she saw, felt what she felt. Anger, bitterness, a will to survive.
Ah! Did you feel that? You've got the same thing. In your head.
Don't die! Don't die! Don't die!
The person they were trying to save, it was the creature from the ship. Still alive, but wounded. My words fell on deaf ears. The creature's hold on them was too strong.
Monster! That's my daughter! She's dying! You did this! You want to kill her!
Suddenly, something convulsed inside me. My vision lurched, sickeningly. I was one of my assailants. Our minds fused together. They were frightened, lost. The creature in the wreckage was forcing them to attack me, controlling them like puppets. Its voice shivered across my brain, seeking access, trying to bend my will to its bidding. I pushed back, taking advantage of a tremor of pain cutting through the creature. As its influence waned, my assailants lowered their weapons, blinking in confusion. I approached the dying monster. This was the thing that had abducted me. I felt compassion. Compassion? Yes, I felt hate. And I deserved to be punished for it. I should have been whipped. Made to bow before this creature in shame. It was possessing my mind, forcing me to love it. But then the feelings slipped. The creature's mind seemed to focus elsewhere. Our minds fused, lusting for something that was gone. But then its grip clawed back with a vengeance. A vice, locking my mind into obedience. It needed sustenance to survive, and with my very body I could provide. Warm, wet tentacles wrapped themselves around my head, and for the first time in my life, I was perfectly happy.
And if it escapes, how will you... Oh, a guest.
My skull pounded in response to the prisoner's white-hot stare. Her lips didn't move, yet I heard her voice.
You again. Get rid of them. I have a cat, a library, and a weakness for a good glass of wine. And if the mood takes me, I'm known to try my hand at poetry. There. Didn't that paint enough of a picture?
For a split second, I saw a swirl of tainted magic. Then his defenses dropped like a portcullis.
Out! That was uncalled for.
My God, you're a coward!
The human's eye twitches. He's about to blow.
I can't do it.
Of course you can. It just takes time. I didn't become the Blade of Frontiers overnight.
The man's mouth bent downward as he turned, and his thoughts became mine. An unknown face commanded my mind. Rust-red skin, gnarled horns, and then I was myself once more.
I'll be damned to the hells. You were on the ship.
The creature appeared again, red skin, twisting horns, and wings stretching wide behind it. Our minds parted again, leaving my skull throbbing.
Ouch. Careful you don't push the brain bugs too far. They'll leave you hurting.
The rat hesitated just a moment before scurrying over to me. Jittering, he opened his mouth. One of his teeth was badly chipped. Gluttony? The rat's ears twitched in interest. With a flick of his tail, he ran away, urging me to follow him.
Stop! This place is off limits. Leave.
I noted her grimace of pain. I realized there was something wrong with her legs.
Damn it! Don't look at me like that. You can stay. Just keep your hands to yourself, all right?
The rat gestured angrily towards the chest. It bit down on nothing, but winced all the same. His dark eyes stared at me, waiting for this danger to be banished. The rat sniffed the chest, then leapt in, tail twitching gratefully.
The tiefling was clear. If there are Githyanki west of here, that must be our objective. Purification cannot wait.
Lae'zel's eyes drifted downward. Something was off. I saw myself through Lae'zel's eyes. To her, I was already a Mindflayer, a monster in all but appearance. The child stared past me as if I wasn't there. The child continued staring past me. I didn't spot anything out of the ordinary. When I turned back, the child had vanished. His eyes flicked to mine for an instant, then away, as if it hurt to look at me. I couldn't make sense of what he was saying. The child reached into the rocks behind him and opened a well-concealed hatch.
You bought something.
I felt movement behind me and turned. I noticed that she was trembling. The tears streaming down her cheeks were indeed real.
Let go of me! Help!
Just a moment. This man is recording my story. I am far from home.
The colourful man yelped in delight and started scribbling. With a shaggy grin, the bear sneaked a look at the page. His brow furrowed. Incomprehensible squiggles surrounded a crude sketch. A bear disemboweling a clutch of tieflings.
Come on. All the druids can understand me. You can. Why can't the man with the pen? I traveled a long way.
The man nodded thoughtfully and added another dismembered limb to his sketch. This grove is kept by Eldath's faithful. By Eldath, Mother of the Waters, all strife is cleansed. By Eldath, the Quiet One, all turmoil is calmed. By Eldath, Guardian of Groves, all fear is soothed. The forest rose with claw and tooth, to tear the darkness from its roots. Beasts chasing beasts alongside a wild woman. The sea meant nothing to me. By waters still, 'neath watching trees, a hallowed place for Mother Peace. I didn't recognize the ritual or the name Mother Peace. In darkest hour a concord made, 'twixt harp and wild against the shade. Harp and wild. I recalled stories of an alliance between druids and the harpers. Could this have been it? The towers seized, the battle done. The moonrise broke, the darkest one. Darkest one? Moonrise? They meant nothing to me.
Don't you hear it? It's so peaceful.
I scooped up his gold pouch while the halfling stumbled deeper into the water, oblivious. The forest. Dark, cold, foreboding. Hello? Anyone there?
First, thou shalt not drink the blood of thinking creatures. Second, thou shalt obey me in all things.
I kept low to the ground, scuttling like a rat.
Third, thou shalt not leave my side unless directed.
Oh, please, not again.
Fourth, thou shalt know that thou art mine.
I swung, but connected with nothing. His twisted, smiling face remained.
You are mine forever.
Cazador, my master. I had to get back to him quickly. If I was late, he'd flay me. Again. What would he say when he discovered I could walk in the sunlight, when he couldn't? And then it dawned on me. If I was free to walk in daylight, could I be free of Cazador too? free of his rules. First, thou shalt not drink of the blood of thinking creatures. I looked at my companions, sleeping, helpless. How badly did I need to know? I paused. His eyes were closed, his chest rising and falling, his neck gently pulsing with every heartbeat. Blood gushed across my lips, coating my mouth and flowing down my throat. I drank and drank and drank, until without even a whimper, it was all over. I paused. Her eyes were closed, her chest rising and falling, her neck gently pulsing with every heartbeat. Blood gushed across my lips, coating my mouth and flowing down my throat. I fell back, glorious blood coating my throat. I laid her head down and crept back to my bed with a full belly and singing heart. For the first time in centuries, I felt happy. I tried to approach quietly, gently, but it was too much. The hunger took over.
Skvar!
Chuck, my dreams can't be trusted.
I crept back to my bedroll, a lucky escape for us both, and it wouldn't be our last. The blood caught in my throat, burning and twisting. I expelled it in a series of quick hacking coughs.
You're a bloody vampire, but you bit off more than you can chew. Let my blood be a warning to you. There's more to me than meets the eye. I am not for eating.
I smiled, grateful. It was a lucky escape for us both, and it wouldn't be our last. At the back of the crevice lay a bag covered with spiders. A shiny gold coin poked from its mouth. The creatures clutched the pouch possessively. I had no doubt. A spider egg was nestled within. Agitated clacking choked my thoughts. The spiders skittered about, more nervous than before. Pincers pierced my flesh. Their chitters became giggles. The intruder was punished. At the back of the crevice lay a bag covered with spiders. A shiny gold coin poked from its mouth. The spiders scattered. I felt their panic. The beloved was taken. I stashed the bag. Something clinked amongst the coins. A cluster of spiders scuttled inside the crevice. The infuriated spiders crossed my hand and scaled my arm. The swarm was coming.
I'm watching you.
The injured man locked eyes with me. A familiar squirming churned in my head. My limbs did not obey. Our minds intertwined. I saw his siblings, Andric and Brynna. New recruits, mine to shepherd. The man was now dead, but then I noticed a squirming movement under his features. A glistening tadpole emerged, slithering up past a sightless eyeball. The very same as the vile little creature lurking within me. It seemed to curl upwards, as if considering me. But then it shrank back down and started to slither away. I grasped it between my fingers. One squeeze, and it would be no more. How could I even think of harming something so beautiful, so pure? To no avail. I couldn't bring myself to hurt the creature. It slithered off my hand and vanished into the undergrowth. The cruel, beaked face of an owlbear loomed out of the darkness. Its one good eye flicked away for a moment. I followed its glance and saw an owlbear cub. The talons came too quickly and dug deep. The owlbear reared back for another strike. The cub looked from me to his dead mother and let out a plaintive cry. He stood still and chirped sadly. A single blow would end his suffering. The dog tilted his head and whined softly in recognition. He turned and yapped at the corpse, as if to try to wake it. A deep, sad whine escaped from the dog. He bowed his head. The dog looked from me to his owner with a soft whine. He did not move from the corpse. The dog observed me, wary but calm.
Just let her go. Please.
Thank goodness you're here, sweetie. I don't know what's come over these boys.
Auntie Ethel's face creased with false concern. I realized she had lied about seeing this girl, Mayrina. A chill ran up my spine. I felt I was being watched. I blinked, and the wilderness changed. A swamp, stinking and insidious, assaulted my senses. I felt crushing waves of fear as a presence within the door recoiled. It couldn't let people through, not again. Images flashed. A man cowered, a bag open at his feet. Gold coins spilled onto the floor. His cries for mercy were cut short as the hag sliced into him, removing limb by painstaking limb. She cackled, the man's remaining flesh twisted and contorted, becoming the smooth wooden surface of the door before me. Flee, I felt it cry. Frustrated, the door rattled. I saw the hag and myself? I lay bleeding as she leaned over me, a smile on her face. Her teeth, a row of deadly needles, shone as they drove into my throat, blood spraying. The door stood silent. Its form flickered, and I realized that the door was transparent. The door shuddered as it imagined its wooden frame cracking and splintering in a raging inferno. I saw the hag. She walked through the door, its form shimmering. With a jerk, I was pulled from the vision. I felt the presence within shrink, terrified.
The hag petrified me. Only way to stop it.
I was on death's door, but now I feel great. Oh.
I explained that not only was the disease gone, it had left no scars. An impossibility for the bite.
What? But that doesn't make a lick of sense!
Apart from an overgrowth of moss, the well looked unremarkable. As the coin disappeared into the well, I heard a soft clink, not a splash. I could see nothing in the darkness.
Speak your name.
Alas, all I saw was empty space. The mirror reflected nothing. Lacking any evidence to the contrary, I just assumed I looked amazing.
Speak your name. What think you of the Zolkir known as Zastam?
I remembered stories of Zastam, a powerful lich in Thay who made deals with dark gods.
You are no Zolkir, but are you wise?
The roaring furnace awaited an offering. A candy-sweet scent wafted forth. The Sussur bark infused the weapon from within the flames. The flames sputtered away. The dagger was mine for the taking. The book was locked tight, with no keyhole. There was only an angular recess in the cover. Brushing away the dirt of time, I could make out the name etched into the cover. The Necromancy of Thay.
Curious. Why don't you take a closer look? I'll observe from back here.
I could feel the book's pull. I could feel its power. My lips moved, speaking a language I didn't understand, and something was trying to reply. The symbols darted beneath my eyes, warping and twisting. My head throbbed, but I almost understood. Every symbol seemed to burn my eyes. I could feel them searing into my mind, into my soul. The book snapped closed. I had seen too much. Not that I understood what it meant. A great taut drum sat before me. One strike would likely ring for miles, alerting goblin reinforcements. From the far distance, I heard a blast of goblin voices.
That should alert a good few goblins to our presence. Not planning on discretion, then.
The drum lay before me. If they hadn't heard me before, they certainly did now.
You better learn your place. Go on. Kiss my foot. Or I'll wipe that nasty look right off your pretty face.
Kiss the damn foot. Worse things have been shoved in your face lately.
Are those big ears just for show? You heard me. That's more like it.
As my lips touched the filthy flesh, I caught a whiff of lavender? The kiss stretched on, while I carefully slid off the ring.
You enjoying that? Disgusting worm. Just remember, you're nothing here.
Impressive. Though I'm not sure I want to know why you're so skilled at that.
bloodthirsty, ain't ya? Ha! Go on in! Make him scream!
No! Please!
I faced the prisoner, considered the tools at my disposal, and... the prisoner howled, and the stench of charred flesh filled the room.
Stop! Please! Stop this! No, please, to the east. Past the ruins and the bridge. They covered the gate with ivy.
Look at him. You got him good.
The battered man hung slack from his chains, barely breathing. The man coughed hard, but his eyes shot open, and the color returned to his cheeks.
Get away. Please. No more.
Already turned quite the profit today, so I'm feeling generous.
With a jolt, I recognized the crest she bore, the winged serpent of the Zhent Trader.
Half right, sharp eyes. As then is a normal trader. Just a matter of what's for sale.
You ready? Brace yourself. This'll sting. Hold still.
As the pain muddled my thoughts, our minds became entangled. A familiar sensation. She too carried a parasite. Her faith flooded into me, a tide of shuddering ecstasy. Her tadpole nestled within that mania, secure, hidden.
I feel you in there, digging around. Works both ways. And I saw some weird shadows swimming around in your head just now. Maybe I can help with that. Us true souls gotta look out for one another. Ready to clear your head? Smart. All you need to do is open yourself to the Absolute. And I'll do the rest.
Psionic fears crept across my mind, like a pickpocket's fingers seeking flaws in fabric. Sifting deeper, she saw the Mindflayer holding a wriggling tadpole to my eye.
Helps! We need to fish that thing out before it eats any important parts of your brain. Don't you worry. I've got everything I need to fix you. Might get a bit messy, though. You won't regret this. Being a true soul, you know the Absolute don't like to touch nothing unclean. So drink this. It'll purify ya.
I recognized telltale flecks of werejackal blood. This was a potion of sleep.
This could have gone easy for you. Not now, though. I'll tear you to shreds.
Praise his ever-bleeding axe. Praise his throne of flaming iron. Praise Maglubiet.
I knew of Maglubiet, a tyrannical deity who treated his goblinoid followers as slaves.
Trying to interrupt my prayers? Scared of a real god?
A glassy black surface reflecting my gaze back at me. As I gazed deeper, I felt a focus, an intent. The eye stared unblinking, just a dark mirror once more.
Shugan al Shukok, Otashokek Dor! I command you, corpse, speak. Heretic! Reveal truth to the Absolute! Nothing. Must be reading it wrong. Suga no Shukuk!
The hobgoblin turned to me, and the parasite squirmed in my skull. I tasted the ale in his tongue and the bile in his soul.
If it isn't another true soul.
He didn't speak his next words, yet they still rattled my skull from within.
You ever talk to a dead squid? Now's your chance. Found the squiddy near that tentacle ship. Absolute wants to know who killed it and ran off. And who better to tell us than the corpse?
I choked on black smoke as the hobgoblin screeched his incantation.
I command you, corpse, speak and say sooth. Lucan ok al koldek shulkol kek.
The hideous corpse rose, tentacles writhing. My heart seized. Under questioning, the creature might recognize me as its killer. Ragzlin's mind reeled, then calmed. He would speak as I commanded. With Ragzlin's voice, I asked,
What did the killer want?
Ragzlin scowled, shocked by his own words, and a jolt shot through my skull. The creature spoke in visions. A swarm of Githyanki dragon riders, silver blades held high. Control panels melting, flesh pods spilled open.
Get on the hunt. They know something.
He was suspicious, confused by the question that fell from his lips. I proceeded carefully.
Who killed you?
Again, a vision came to me, a memory seen through the creature's soul-dead eyes. I saw a clawed hand open a holding pod to reveal darkness.
You're kidding me. Very helpful, squid.
Doubt clouded Ragzlin's skull. Did he feel my guidance?
Who? You're no true soul.
My parasite resisted, flailing as I crawled into Ragzlin's mind murk. Rage slithered through him, hot and black. It squeezed me, suffocated me.
Boys, crush the heretic!
Magic stirred the corpse to unnatural life. It awaited my questions.
Barkus! He called me Barkus! His amulet found bloodied.
The spell's power waned. I could ask no more questions. The dead woman's lips parted to steal a rattling lungful of air from the living.
Brynna, faithful servant to the Absolute, following her true souls.
The corpse was silent. The corpse jerked alive as the magic did its work.
Edowin, a true soul by infidels.
All life shuddered from the corpse. The magic was spent.